Okay, we live, and we're watching the. Go to our YouTube channel.
People. Oh my God! Yeah. Hi. So you know who I am.
Zero likes, zero viewers. An excellent connection. I can hear all of this. I think this is okay. And not have camera audio.
A couple of people recognize this basically.
I've recognized this kind of
Thank you for saying
Mongolian
hello,
chanting.
guys.
No, don't say hello next time.
Yeah.
Leave him the fuck alone.
I mean,
There's the microphone.
Sorry
There
about
we
the
are.
shorts.
I'm sure they didn't mind.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. But they just kept themselves because they have self-respect. Unlike you, they go there looking like a dumbass and make us all look bad.
My
A
pretty-
shantina.
okay,
The shantina Devin Ness.
with my pretty checkered shorts.
Also, I mean, that's something. Ever since he got that new body, he started speaking quick. Have you noticed how quick he went through the story? He didn't take his time.
Yes.
No more heavy
It's called
breathing.
being lean.
Turns out
Yeah.
the pound made me slow.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ponderous, I think.
Oh, we have a viewer?
Ponderous.
So it was a good show?
It was a great start, honestly, at Comedy Festival.
But it's an interesting experience going to Shamsi anywhere because, as I described to her,
Oh, we got one
going to
concurrent viewer. That means he's here, but
I'll give them that. They did
Yes.
lovely chauffeured.
yes, I guess the right.
Chauffeur.
Yeah. Chauffeured.
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 Chauffeur is it's a guy in the UK.
Going with Shamsi to anywhere is like having your plus one be a cat.
All right.
No, we walked,
Agreed.
like
Go
we,
on.
we
Because
walked in a bit early,
When
you know.
I thought like لما جينا انت من رايح مع قطو he didn't like I don't get it what do you mean can you قطو I was like you're always distracted you're indecisive
He's always looking around.
always looking around like I told
He doesn't notice that by himself, by the way.
I told him
I mentioned that to him so many times. Whenever we're out somewhere, he's always like this.
exactly
Like a cat. He just like he's trying to pay attention to everything at the same time.
down. I guess we had to turn on the audio.
We're going to the same place.
I told he said hey listen should we get mine what do they have
Lines, the lines.
should I get a burger or should I get a
Lines.
pizza
This.
I don't give a shit what do you want
I want help in making my mind up.
we were there
You know,
for
and that's what I couldn't get.
we were
Somebody
there
left. Okay, we have one concurrent viewer.
could not
They might come back.
for that entire hour what to do
No, and then
Probably because I didn't talk enough. Because I'm sitting here trying to figure this stuff out, make sure it sounds good.
couple of friends, we caught up. We said,
Okay.
I mostly did that. He was just
No.
awkwardly
No.
standing
No,
there.
I said hi to the people I liked. I know people there, and I saw you my shoe because I've selected who I said.
So I'm going to turn this down.
Same thing as me.
I guess at times I should mute it. See, I can still hear it there. So now that audio is completely off. Where is it? Yeah, it is.
Hey boys, there's platinum tickets. Who wants to get it and come with me? So I said, hey, I'm with Shamsi. Shamsi got the ticket, so I'm with my boy.
That,
But if
as-
you
as you would.
upgrade me,
I can leave my boy for
I
my
can
poppy.
ignore the shit out of my boy and call you Poppy. And he's like, I will upgrade.
I feel like he kind of did, you
He
know.
was
Yes.
like, I'm not going 2 days with this guy again.
No, the irrational. It was pettiness.
It was trust me, it really was pettiness,
It
you
was,
know.
I
it was,
know.
it was pettiness because hey, you want to come?
I mean, fair point, sure. Fair point.
You know what? Fuck you! I'm gonna pay £12 just to spite you.
Everything I love about that story is him like, I'm willing to pay just to say fuck you.
Keep in mind, he could have gotten cheaper tickets. Clear sight of line, you know.
I can see
I
the
smell
sweat.
all the smoke. Like all the smoke. I inhaled what he inhaled.
Which also we had a discussion whether he would do that or not. It's nice to see him, you know.
Of course he would. Why wouldn't he smoke?
And he's being his elements, you know.
It's
It's Dave Chappelle and smoking.
And he got that reception that you expect, you know.
Well, the warm up, actually, the first one was actually good. Second one was up and down, and then Dave came out, and
And then no, we had a 5-minute break, and then
we had a 5 minute like
the stand up.
90s hip hop remix.
Yeah.
Before he
That's
came in.
Agilum.
Yeah, he took
And
his,
hyper.
he took his time.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah. We sat down.
You can tell.
I don't know about you, but I sat down.
I'll tell you what I did. The problem is, I'll go back to my seating.
I'm getting a high pitched sound. I don't know. Is there somebody watching it? So if somebody's watching this,
I don't know, a bulldozer.
I'm getting a high pitched sound.
Not a bulldozer.
Which is
Yeah,
also
but you
a
can
large,
hear it.
you know,
A large
quantity of
no,
mass.
I mean, okay, it's respectful.
Top heavy and bottom heavy,
I'll-
basically.
Oh, I'm the concurrent.
A whole lot of work.
I was sitting next to a standing oven,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
and dude was so big he was leaning over me, and number one was sitting next to some fine thing, and then
No, it's specifically a fine thing and her husband.
was it her husband though?
Sure.
Sure, we'll give him that. We'll give him that. We'll give him a sure. We'll give him a sure.
So I didn't want to be just like leaning on the fine thing, so I leaned on the other fine thing, which is Agilum.
No, first off, he was being so respectful. He was like this the whole time. I keep like, yo, you can lean. It's all good, man. It's all good.
You can get closer.
But when we stood up before Dave came in, you know what I did? I looked back. I saw there's enough space, and I just pushed my chair all the way back. All right?
Okay. You created your own space.
Didn't help. The oven followed me also.
Nah.
Okay? I was still crushed. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to give you space. Now, the problem is with the people sitting next to me is, well, we'll get to Dave in a second, okay? But this was a major issue for me. Because I sat next to, I'm not going to say, like, we know who they are, by the way. At least we know one of them, okay? But I've never met him personally. But when I saw his face, like, I know him and you guys know. I sat next to the worst kind of people you can sit next to at a comedy show.
Which is kind of people that talk in a comedy show.
Well, that I don't really care for. The speakers were loud enough.
Yeah.
But people who are trying to analyze the comedy.
Running commentary.
Oh.
Okay.
deconstructing the joke.
They will say a joke.
Constant feedback.
The comedy set up the joke, and then get back to it, right?
Set up punchline.
Yeah.
So
Is that a punchline callback?
callback.
Mhm.
So he set up a joke, and then when he went back, and everybody was like, "Oh," he looks at his boys like, "Didn't I tell you he's gonna come back to it?" That's what I told you. When you see he started it, and they're just given a play-by-play of
No.
what the joke is.
No.
This is what a comedy expert does, Adil. You know,
This
He
is-
The
ru-
show is ongoing.
he ruins it for other people.
The show, we understand when the joke is being set up. We love comedy. We understand that's coming, but we still want to enjoy the joke.
Is that a streamer? Was there a streamer?
I saw a bunch of streamers.
Along the line of a streamer.
Yeah.
He is in the
Okay.
media place.
No.
And it was so annoying. And him and his two other idiots, and they just go back for, yeah, we put the joke over here, you put the other joke over there, and you
And you're
divide by
just-
9.
and you're just trying to focus on the show.
I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, you just enjoy the show, bro. You got Dave Chappelle right in front of you saying some mid jokes. Just enjoy that shit.
Yeah.
But no. When you tell you, oh, look, I understood where he's gonna take this. Who gives a fuck that you understood where he's going this?
It's not.
It's not
directed to you.
rocket science. It's comedy. Just come and enjoy it. No. First off, this dude was an oven, bro. I was baking next to him. Like, this whole side was just like hot air. I'm not joking, bro. All right? And this
Nowhere
whole
to go-
side,
nowhere to go.
And this whole side was forehead.
Also hot
okay?
air.
And so I felt bad for him. I'm trying to tell him to lean back. Oven man, I'm crispy right here. Okay, KFC.
It's just like you can see Idol's just my right side was just like tit sweat all over.
Thank you for that. It was annoying, man.
Sounds like you were comfortable, guys.
Oh,
Like,
very,
all
very
the way up
comfortable.
front.
The
you know,
chairs
and-
were awful.
your petty
bro.
seats.
My lower back still hurts from that chair. That chair is nasty.
But you had a good view.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like right in front of the stage, like you see.
Yeah,
sounds
okay,
good.
cool.
The circumstances could
Okay.
be better.
Exactly.
The guy next to me was.
I can't wait to see when they jump on Netflix. See that big oven next to me. Oh shit! They're gonna jump on Netflix. Oh, that oven's gonna know.
Yeah.
No, the oven's gonna know. Fucking hell, bro.
Which is also another surprise, the fact that there was like that actual Netflix
We were
logo
discussing it. Okay.
coming on.
First off, let's get to the idea. What do you guys think of it?
I thought it was a great set, honestly. I thought I was lucky enough to be able to see a master.
Yeah,
hour.
we understand. We understand.
You
We're talking
know.
about the show itself.
The set itself.
We're all fucking excited and happy to have Dave. We, can't wait to-
Definitely.
we would love to have him again,
Definitely.
right? But I'm talking about what you see in front of you.
Yeah, definitely not his best, but even if it's not his best, it's still head and shoulders above everything else.
It's without a doubt. It's Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I felt like the crowd kind of threw him off.
To an extent, because
Yeah.
sometimes you can tell like they're clapping at things they're not supposed to clap to.
At
They're-
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was even like weirded out.
Nope.
Yeah, the Charlie Kirk one.
Yeah.
When people's like, yo, this is yeah, guys.
Absolutely.
I believe Idol's exact words like, he didn't like y'all. Why are you clapping?
Fair.
No, the audience was kind. I don't know. 'Cause, when he said, "Hey, are you guys bored? You seem bored."
Mm.
It's because Dave today gives you a storyline. It's not just joke. It's a storyline.
Yeah.
And then he brings the joke, and and he gives it more value. Like he I think he understands today that his words hold so much value, and he wants to give it a little bit of like a story and something of value while still giving you the jokes.
Mm.
And when he was doing that, it went silent. But it went silent because we were all listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it threw him off. That's why he looked at it. He was like, "Hey, are you guys bored? You guys want jokes or stories? I don't know which one you guys would like."
Mm.
And so I feel like that kind of threw him off.
Yeah, you can tell. I think to a certain extent, a language barrier is still going to be there. Either
I don't
way.
think it's a language barrier. You know
It's a
what I think it
culture
is?
barrier.
It's because the product that he serves is based on his environment.
Exactly.
And he's about today. And so the environment today is shaky, and that's what he's focusing on. So when you tell him to go abroad and do something, it's still like I'm bringing you like I was watching America's News today. That's exactly what it was.
Mm.
I was watching the state of America. Dave Chappelle's telling me about what's going on in America and what's bad about America, because that's what he knows how to do. That's his environment. And so when he sat there, a lot of people were like, okay, like we see what's coming. We're just waiting for the punchline. And so whenever he went off the stories and he was just talking to the crowd, he got more reaction of everybody else. So I think that kind of threw him off.
Regardless, the Riyadh crowd or the Middle Eastern crowd بشكل عام in stand-up comedy is hard to read. But from what I saw in his delivery is he's not sure if I assume he's not sure if we're getting all the references and stories that he's talking about that are happening in the States. But we all were, and everyone was listening, and everyone gave him feedback. Like, do you know who we're talking about? Yes. Everyone claps, everyone cheers, whatever. But that kind of, I think it was just a matter of he's not sure if we're getting it or not.
And that's what I'm telling you. That's what threw him off.
Yeah.
Which was the problem with the opener for Bill Burr, because nobody got his reference.
Yeah.
No, not just that. Like, and a bunch of like you heard that point being mentioned a couple times. Like, there's a joke about therapy. You know, oh, do you guys know what therapy is? Like, people are not like someone. I think one of the openers made that joke.
He was joking, obviously.
Yeah, but so, no, again, it's just that for them, they're coming to an audience that they're unfamiliar with, so they're not sure of the level of connection
That's
that this
exactly
audience
what I want
has.
to talk about.
Yeah, with the culture and what's going on.
With most of the comedians that I see here, I haven't seen a lot, but all of them have that kind of sense of, I'm talking to you, but I'm not sure if you're getting what I'm talking about, or should I, change the reference to something you understand. But what I saw with Dave is, no, he's just...
Yeah,
like
he's more comfortable with, yo, you came here, you're seeing, like, you're paying to see me, you know everything I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah, you get the impression some of them felt like they run the line of talking at you versus talking to you.
Yeah, I didn't feel that with Dave,
No.
which is
the opposite.
something I really loved.
Yeah, like you felt.
Yeah, you felt that because we pay attention to what's happening in the States. But if you did not pay attention to what's happening in the States,
No, I'm talking about the other way around. I'm talking about like I felt that he was talking to me, not at me, because he understands that. Yeah, we know the references. We understand everything.
Yeah. Plus, all the people there will love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly.
Like you could see that from the ovation he got when he first walked in. You could see that, like even from the ovation at the end. But at the same time, he's so good at talking to you. He's so good at taking you down, holding you by the hand, and leading you down that story route. Where
he's a good storyteller.
Yeah, exactly. And where he ends it up with a joke. You don't even see the joke. Like, you're so engrossed in what he's saying. And you want him to keep going. And I think that was the nice thing, that you got to see him in that zone, in that flow.
I think you can see the joke. You just try and see where he's going to land the joke. And that's what's so good about Dave.
Yeah.
How he lands the joke has always been amazing.
And the way he did it, and
like
the way
the Indian restaurant one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was stupid.
Yeah.
That was
That caught me really off guard. I'm like, okay, where's he going with this? And he really took it too far.
But he did it in that way where, like, again, it's just at the top of his game, and that's what I really appreciate. That he really came in.
That's a comedy technique called crossing the line twice. Because as opposed to the guy next to you, I actually know my shit when it comes to analyzing comedy.
Okay. He didn't give you any running commentaries?
No, I was just trying to.
We're just enjoying it.
Trying to not catch a case with the fine thing accidentally.
You have no idea, bro. He's moving his elbow the whole time.
He's leaning into you, homie. He's leaning into you. No, but again, I think it's a really good start to the comedy festival. There's a lot more great comedians coming up in the next 2 weeks. We're going to a bunch of the shows.
Nice.
Thank you guys as well.
Yeah.
The smoke machine.
Yeah, it almost
I was
killed
too far from this
So
smoke.
glad I'm in the nose.
Bro.
So I can see.
I'm still coughing right now. Like, my chest still hurts while I'm talking to you. That was too much. Like, that was way too much smoke. But at the end, there was no smoke machine. It died. Like, there's nothing anymore. They used it all up.
I mean, again, these are rich people problems that we can't deal with. You know,
What, health?
say things. They're being close enough to have to worry about the smoke machine.
Okay, so where you take your joke? So thank you what?
Say thank you to Poppy for any
Okay, I see.
allowing me with that
Okay, all
experience.
right, cool. Thank you. You're so
Thank
awesome.
you, Turks, for joining me in my nosebleed.
And then,
يعطيك العافية.
thank you for not wearing shorts today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
حميتكم.
سترت على المافن توب.
He knew that I was coming. That's why. He can't wear that shit around me. He knows it.
I mean, I've
He
done it
knows
several
He
times. If I
knows.
do it.
No, the check. I've never seen
You've
it.
seen LGBT.
I've never. No, that's Jeep. No, I'm good.
No, he's gonna be wearing it.
I mean,
شغل اللمبة الحمراء.
when me and the boy came into
The boy and I.
the boy, thank you,
boy
the
and
boy
I.
Yeah.
when the
Yeah.
boy and I came into Al-Aryan yesterday, what was the first thing the boy said to him?
Oh, we chat on his shores for like
Exactly.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was fun.
I love that
I
you
wish I
guys.
was there.
I love that you guys can all agree on this stuff. Makes it easier for me to know where it's coming from.
What are you talking about?
What does that mean?
We told you can't dress for 15 years.
I mean, I still don't believe that, but yeah.
What do you mean?
That's a you
Okay,
problem.
okay, cool. So you don't believe that when we tell you that. Okay, how about other people also telling me that? That
بالإجماع.
doesn't count nothing for you?
ما أصدق بعد.
It's all experience, I
إشاعات
guess.
إشاعات هذه.
إشاعات مين؟
August, yeah, disconnect. Successful.
The
You
family
use what?
lotion?
We're evolving. We're evolving now.
Okay, who's we?
I got body butter and shit that I use.
You got body butter?
Yeah.
What kind of body butter?
The butter.
It's all natural, organic,
What do you mean all that? No.
gluten free.
There's two different types of body butter. Which one are you using?
The after shower. Yeah.
You don't understand. I don't know. No.
I'm still working
No,
on
that's
it.
okay.
I'm still working on it,
It's
guys.
okay. You'll be human one day.
Inshallah,
No, it's okay.
we'll get there.
Inshallah.
Yes, ladies, he's single.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in pre-shower butter.
No.
He only uses
But
the
after shower butter.
The second kind.
Yeah, that's the one you got to keep an eye out for.
Gamma.
Oh my god. So like what? You just
Shower butter.
lather up once a day?
Yeah, and he pretty much.
Okay, we got 3 views. Oh, that was probably just all me.
So you think if you put lotion at 8 a.m.
See if
by
we get
8
another.
lotion still goes strong?
Yeah, and it depends on the type of lotion.
Computers.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the ones that you're using.
there's a
The
night.
after shower body butter.
There's a night.
Yes, the all natural, organic, gluten free
There's-
after shower body butter.
There's a body mask at night, yeah, but that's a different subject.
What do you mean?
maybe.
What's
Body
a body
mask.
mask?
A body
Face
mask.
A face mask.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you, no face mask
This.
is
Oh,
gonna
that's
be
useless.
able to cure whatever that thing is on your face.
It's work.
Right?
It's work.
This
It's
whole
work.
thing that you call a face, there's no cure, no surgery.
Yeah.
It's a work in
nothing.
progress, but
Also,
There's
people
no
don't go to
progress
sleep
to
with
where?
we believe in science.
Hey, I'm negative 100 in the face. I can't wait to be negative 99.
Yeah, bro, that's one less.
You got a lot. Just die.
one less
Like
negative.
part of this, we're just gonna have to
I'm
get
just telling
used
you.
to. I'm gonna get
Maybe
used to
he's
not
single.
seeing him. I'll see him on the screen.
Unavailable.
No, he's not. No, he is not.
He is so available.
It's neither of those
Every
things.
single day he tells me, bro, I am looking for the wife. I can't find the wife. I'm
Call me
always
the
surrounded by
bachelor. Yeah.
people that are.
They're quiet. You sound okay. Okay.
Every day sending me, yo, Anura, Asara. You know, I'm like, who is this? Like, yo, this new chick, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here.
Why trying to put him
And
in
you do
trouble, bro?
nothing.
Why trying to put him in trouble, bro?
I'm not, why am I putting in trouble? I'm saying the truth.
Lies,
No, this is the truth.
complete and
Every
utter
day.
lies.
Who was Fatima yesterday that you sent me?
I'm not responding to any of these.
What are you talking about?
baseless allegations. That are
Now you
being
know how
thrown
you
my
felt
way.
with the lady boy he punched.
What lady boy? What are you talking? Wait.
Oh, you're still defending yourself from that one?
I defended myself once
alright.
with an umbrella. Alhamdulillah, I don't need to defend myself again.
Turks punched a lady boy.
you very
We
much.
all know it's a true story.
As you remember, you
Yes,
know, as
and
you-
you every day with a new chick name telling me,
No,
yo,
no,
she's the one.
checkered shorts. I had the checkered shorts. That's what.
So
we're on.
each box in your checkered short has a different girl's name. That's the one you might want to marry. That's why you have a checkered one.
The-
Oh, just it's a billboard.
that's not what shorts are for.
Is it a checklist? Like, what name are we at today? Who did you see today? Say, yo, you should be the one. What's
Tomorrow we're going to see Nimish Patel.
With who? With Lara. Okay, so you and Lara. Okay.
With no one.
I
by
hope
myself.
Lara becomes the one, though. I hope. Good luck, buddy. I wish she's the one.
What we're at Laura? What happened to Tamadr?
That was 2 days ago. It's over with.
I just want to say
I told
Tamadr.
you. I know. Thank you for that. We appreciate that. This is appreciated, this podcast.
Like,
Unlike this.
We're happy that he's so happy that he's back. We're happy that you're back.
So let's talk about your love life real quick. So many girls in and out every single month, right?
My love exists for y'all, my homies, my
Ew.
friends.
Yeah, we know that. We love you back. We love you back.
The people that,
you're the best.
يحتووني.
So now let's get back to the other side. We want to get married, right? So like, how are you planning on doing that?
دعوات
Like 15, 20 girls a month is a lot.
دعوات ربي.
A lot.
First of all,
تدي عليهم ولا
دعوة شيء.
which one?
توفيق ربي.
دعوات ما تجي من ربي، دعوات تروح من ربي.
Yeah, I know.
نصائح من امي. هذه برضه جدا.
Oh, so your mom is saying, yo, more girls to marry.
She's telling me how about
That's
you
what
settle.
aunt is
She's telling me how about you settle down.
So when you give her the catalog of girls that you met, how does she feel?
I mean, I think at this point she
We're
doesn't-
only talking about September, by the way.
I think
Not August.
I think at this point my mother would just like to have more grandchildren. I think this is the
So that's why
vibe.
she's supportive of the catalog. Does she scan them before or after you see them and you start analyzing, then you go, moms, okay, check it out.
I'm trying to figure out where you want to go with this. Where does the cliff end here?
Wherever you get in trouble. I'm giving out options of fake. This is all lies, by the way.
think
I
we're-
just want you to get in trouble
I
somewhere
think
here.
we're far beyond that point at this point.
Are we close to suicide?
Oh, trust me, we're having fun tomorrow.
Perfect. All right, let's add some more to it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Lala. Lala was yesterday, right? Short, blonde,
Not talk about anyone.
green eyes. What am I drawing in my head?
Yeah, well.
All right.
I love how you have that complete vision about doing
G-Wagon.
binoculars.
Was it a mint green G-Wagon? It was a mint green G-Wagon.
it was.
Turks
Yeah, I
would
think it
know.
was,
Because Lala was last month for Turks, by the way. This is the last
Why
episode.
the fuck are you dragging me into this?
Okay, this is all bullshit.
This is what we come to when it comes to our high
Ladies
level
and gentlemen, we
sophisticated
have no
conversations.
topics. We have
Yeah.
nothing. But the most important thing that happened this week, aside from the Riyadh Comedy Festival, is the new rules and regulations for people who have موثوق. What's it? ميثاق? موثوق? What's it
What
called?
is that? Tell us more.
So do you remember that the Ministry of Media released موثوق for people who want to do for basically influencers and people on social media and content creators who want to sell products. This makes them legit that business can do work with them, right?
It's an influencer license.
Basically, right? And last week they announced new laws
Okay.
because we discussed during the summer how disgusting it was what they were all doing in Monaco. Well, over the summer overall. And I keep telling you, y'all, without going too much details, that Monaco has been very, very nasty this year because of our influencers
People doing too much.
and all these people who have too much money to spare and trying to show the whole world that, oh, look at me, my amazing lifestyle.
Okay.
So that became a problem. So they gathered them up. Like, was it last week?
I
think it was early last week, right?
Early last week, yes.
Early last week. They invited all the influencers, like, hey, by the way, we just want to remind y'all of the rules and regulations. Also,
The updates.
there's updates to the rules and regulations of you obtaining an influencer license. And we would like to tell you what the update is. So we'd like to have everybody here. So some of them are actually, almost all of them.
A fucking influencer license. You got to get a license to sell product that people don't really need. I mean, I guess people need shoes, but they don't need friggin' $600 shoes or whatever. $6,000 shoes. Not that expensive, but.
I bought my boy a new G-Wagon, so I'm going to take a whole video and turn you into content of me giving you a G-Class and tell you, oh, you're my brother and this is why I gave you this car and all that bullshit. No, cut that shit out.
هذا الكرم ازاي؟
So they just can't lie anymore. They have to, they can't lie. What?
Family
Issues.
Basically, you can't basically turn your internal family
into
T,
content.
T into content.
يعني don't لا تغسل
لا
This
تنسى.
guy
you know.
divorced me. This guy, him and his brother have problems. Anything that's issue is inside your house, you don't take it to the public. I love that so much. This fights off a lot of people who are basically trying to clickbait
He
to
loves
get
it,
people's
I'm
attention.
sure.
Yeah.
And
could give a
if you
shit
do not
about
know how to
this.
create content, if your content is just making up bullshit, this kind of puts you in shape.
Yeah.
One of the
I
best
don't care
ones
if people
also.
make things up. It's, you know.
Fuck your cleavage.
Yeah.
Fuck your sportswear. You need to be covered up and dressed properly.
Oh, wow.
You can wear whatever you want.
There it is.
But if I see
There it is, everybody. Cover up. Cover up. Don't show any cleavage. No cleavage anymore. No more boobs. Boobs are out.
National Day, just went out the fucking window.
Okay, wait a minute. We need to, reevaluate this.
Exactly. You hit them at their pockets.
Well, happy National Day. by this way.
Oh, hey! Happy National Day.
Yes.
We'll get to National Day. We'll get to, I have it in my comments.
Okay.
I want to get to it later on. So that rule alone changed all of Snapchat. Well, the reason we say Snapchat is because that's where
That's
everything
where
lives.
most of the influencers
Right?
exist.
I saw no cleavage, no ass this week, no workout videos.
Were you looking at it? Were you digging?
If you open up Snapchat
workout.
anytime and you go to the explore page, that's exactly what you get.
No cleavage, no workout pages, no, you know. All right, ladies, you better behave yourselves for these men. You better behave yourselves because they're coming for the cleavage instead of coming on the cleavage. Here we go. Yeah, no jokes.
Product, and then ass.
Ass.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
And
if
that
they-
works.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
all the time. It's clickbaiting.
Okay.
And then whenever they add a new story, they delete that ass, add their new story, then put that ass back on
Well, they
again.
updated.
No, the same ass.
Same ass.
Same ass for the whole week. All right? Until she gets a new jogger, and then we get new ass. And they kept doing that like for the last 2 years right now.
Yes, that's the current meta.
The current method.
Yes, and that all stopped.
I mean, now people are gonna need to actually be creative.
Exactly.
You know, people need to actually maybe give good content and not rely on.
Exactly.
Actually,
You know,
give good content.
their
There it
assets.
is, ladies. There it is again. Give good content.
Well, how does that translate?
I kind of missed
Not
that
fighting
though.
online.
I kind of missed that though.
Yeah. No, it didn't. You saw it on social media, especially on X. Like two people would just go back and forth on each other.
Okay.
Like even content creators would go back and forth. When you see the Raj and the other guy was going back and forth at each other over
Yeah,
his perfumes.
everybody's dropping videos, basically.
Exactly. Yes. Like all that. You can't do that anymore. You got problems. You go handle it the right way. There's the right channels for you to handle your issues. Don't bring it to the public and have the people choose sides.
And don't publicize and create scandals. Like just avoid
Yeah, because you're
that.
trying. Yeah, exactly. When you
Scandals.
bring it to the public,
No drama. Okay, we're cutting the drama out of comedy and out of influencing. Don't worry. None of that. We just need peace and calm. No chaos.
I think that was the term that was
Oh,
used
bro.
previously.
we're gonna lose so many content creators. Thank God. We're gonna lose so many influencers.
I'm sure they're gonna pivot at it.
I mean, so
They've
many
been
of them,
trying for a whole week.
Yeah.
so many.
Those
of them are
numbers are
gonna go broke.
numbering.
I mean, so many of them are gonna go broke.
Yeah.
It's kind of incredible.
You need to understand the reason you get the ass is not because I just want you to click. It's because when you do click, I take those numbers to sponsors. And I say, hey,
I'm worth-
I get 1 million. Look at this. I did the sponsorship for this person.
I'm not sure these guys have ever heard the phrase sex sells. Because that's what sells in America and a lot of places. And they seem not to be familiar with that phrase.
And you lose basically.
You lose money.
You lose your purpose for being.
No, you get your actual value.
Which is not as much as you would expect.
Turns
Yes.
out they're not talented.
What a surprise! Is that a surprise? Are we surprised, fellas? Here, I mean, it sounds like a good setup.
I mean,
like,
Yeah, of course we're not
direction,
surprised.
definitely.
It's been annoying as hell.
I mean, their doctor is talented.
That's a fact. That is a fact. You should know.
Yes.
Yeah, look at you right now.
Oh,
BBL #1.
Excuse me,
Ooh.
I have that shit on. Excuse you.
I'm it.
yeah.
This shit is gonna pay for itself, Adil.
Give him the respect he deserves, sir.
I am. I can't wait for you to heal.
He put in work to get to that point.
Don't call it comeback. I've been here for years.
All right, boys. All right. We'll talk about your body later on. Are you finally going to come out to people and show who you really are with this new body?
Never.
See, that's a respect to a man right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unlike you.
ما عليك أعطيك كم شهر.
You won't.
أعطيك كم شهر.
I won't. He won't.
You
I
need-
guarantee you.
يبدأ
Won't.
يجيك علاقي.
you need to understand the joy I felt of being with Shamsi today and yesterday in the comedy show, not being recognized. And just like, you see, Shamsi, that's kind of the point of being anonymous. So I can
That
ju-
was the funny thing when someone told me yesterday, yo, we saw your boy. The whole time I'm thinking, I really hope they don't figure out it's #1 right next to them. And so today, people saw me. I ignored them. I was getting messages while we're at, what's the name? No, before we got to Dave Chappelle, we were on the line. Before I gave it the phone, I saw messages. I ignored. On the way out, more messages. I was like, okay, cool. I ignored everybody. Now, whoever saw me and paid attention to who's next to me, that's the thing. There's like 4 guys up Synthope and a bunch up Synthope to my left. One of them is #1. You know how I'm lucky? I had an oven right next to me that was as big as his head. So they're all like, which one?
There is coverage.
There's full coverage.
There is coverage, basically.
But yeah, I have to figure out who #1 is. Anyway, #1 is back. Welcome back, Habib.
Thank you.
Good to have you back. How's your surgery been? How you
Alhamdulillah.
been? Give us an update about you.
No.
Tell us more about
I mean,
how
I've,
you plan to live a better
I've
life.
described it in excruciating
Yeah,
detail.
see that description
I can't
will get
do
us
it.
demonetized.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can say.
So do not give us that description. I already know the description. He
told-
filled me in.
I
Pause.
told it everywhere, but basically I am happy. I'm very, very satisfied.
Monetization.
And I'll leave it at that.
How's the initial results?
Do you feel complete?
Feel confident.
For people who are now regular viewers of the podcast, #1 was #1 obese.
I was the concept of obesity.
When you looked up obese
It was
Number
me.
one.
and you
Sure.
had to flip through 3 pages for the picture, that was him.
Yeah.
I was all
Yeah.
3 pages.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was a centerfold.
Wow.
You open it up like a rug, and it goes all the way down
It's the only page in the dictionary that says scroll.
and folded.
Keep going.
Anyway, so #1 lost a lot of weight.
I lost a person's amount of weight.
He lost a human being, and then he went to work at the gym. How many years? Like 5 or 6 years? You've been
5
in
or
the gym?
6 years.
5 or
etc.
6 years you've been putting work in the gym,
Yeah.
and then
Now it's time to get rid of the excess skin of worth of a tent that I'm wearing around in my life. So
What are you doing with it?
I don't know. They gave it,
handbags.
I'm assuming. Yeah.
Handbags.
Wallets? Maybe.
Yeah. Did
Everything.
Hermes call? What happened?
I think they transformed it
His
into.
mess.
I think they transformed it into low-income housing.
Even better.
Oh shit! Winter's on the way.
Giving back,
Nukhiyam.
giving back to the community. You know?
Yeah,
هذول عشان موسم الحج.
Question.
ما عليك.
The #1 question I wanted to ask you from the beginning: how much weight did you lose after?
I didn't measure because honestly,
Lies.
I was drinking a lot of fluids afterwards, so I just literally gave like 5 kilos of water weight out of just recovering. So it's not an accurate measurement either way.
Did
Right.
you weigh yourself before?
Yes,
Okay.
Did you feel lighter,
yes, I felt lighter. I felt more mobile, confident. Perhaps.
Oh, look at you, confident.
Do you feel complete?
Yes.
Well, you shouldn't. Just letting you know.
No, it's
There's still a hole in your heart.
That's a simple
Never feel
question.
complete.
Look at how he's holding his fingers. He's like,
Do you feel complete?
always twiddling.
Yes.
Do you feel you're one with yourself?
I can start loving myself.
Oh, you can
No,
start now?
no.
Yes.
I think there's a lot, he needs still to work on. But,
No, he said, bro, he still has like 6 months of healing to do.
healing.
But
I'm happy. I'm
the
happy.
internal healing.
And the
That's gonna take
No,
a while.
no,
That's gonna
There's-
take
It's
a
a lot,
that's
That's hopeless.
to the grave.
It's a lot longer than 6 months about doing.
That's never gonna heal.
yeah, we can only push it down. And one day it'll kill me.
One day.
One day.
Oh my god!
But
well,
with this,
I can't wait for you to see your final transformation.
with this surgery, that one day that will kill me is now further along.
The line.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
He moved the gut to the butt.
Yo.
Hey, BBL number 1.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm
That
telling
sounds
you.
about right. That sounds
I don't know
about
how
right.
he's sitting right now. By the way, you got taller when you sit down for some reason.
Yeah,
the
of course.
BBL.
Bro, do you not see how comfortable he is? You know, it's like he's floating.
It's,
I'm
it's, the
telling you.
it's the first law of thermodynamics.
Levitating. Oh, that ass.
His legs are just swinging on the chair.
Matter,
There's too much cheek to sustain. You know? You just see that popping out. You know?
Why you sit like this? I got too much cheek.
it's the first law of thermodynamics.
It was crazy. It's only one cheek. It's not even
Hey,
cheeks.
man, they're gonna undo it later.
Oh my
As
god!
they say, just,
That explains why you're always bending forward when you sit down.
I gotta give you a show.
No, well, why you give me a show
Man,
with
he's-
your arched back? Anyway,
Malik, he's gonna be very balanced now.
I mean, as,
He can go many directions.
I mean, as they say, matter doesn't disappear; it just transforms from one form into another.
hey,
Despair.
that wasn't really that big, big of a deal. I could really care less.
But Sandy, welcome back. Number one, we are happy to have you back.
Thank you.
Yes,
You were the
Yes,
last
I'm-
person to call me, by the way.
I mean, listen, the love is unspoken. It's eternal.
Is that what you told Lara?
It's eternal.
Oh, that's what you told
It's eternal.
Tamadr
Oh, صح, yes. And also Tumayya.
Yeah,
and Hawazin.
but these are only the words I give to
I'm
you.
sorry, that's very
Yo,
quick off the top of
yeah.
your head, by the way.
I like
Okay.
using those names.
It's kind of weird that
Yes.
it's that quick.
Why do you have a list? That's
Exactly.
the question.
We're making lies about his list. Why do you have a list?
I mean, this is called riffing, yeah.
Sure.
Malik,
Riffing.
jazz. So,
Oh my god.
in other news,
Not in other news. Would you? This is a good question I want to ask you. It might take us a minute.
mm,
I cannot ask this question right now, and I just remembered why. We will push it to next week. Also, we need to record an early episode because next week none of us are going to be here,
okay,
or at least most of us are not.
What?
I can't. I don't know if I'm going to be back in town or not. I have to figure it out.
okay.
But anyway,
Solutions.
yay.
Yay.
So last topic before we bounce: United Nations. Have y'all watched?
Yes.
What
Yes.
happened?
What do you mean? What happened? So you didn't watch?
I don't watch anything. I
There's-
come here so you guys tell me what
You're
happened.
the United Nations.
Yes.
So-
Show me.
So Saudi basically convened a huge international conference
Yeah.
with France in order to encourage more countries to recognize Palestine as a state. They managed to get UK, Canada, Australia, among another number of nations. Portugal, I believe, was one of them, who also officially recognized Palestine as
Yeah.
a state. And then nothing happened. And then you went to the UN. A lot of people talked. Netanyahu.
Because Netanyahu spoke yesterday.
Yeah, Netanyahu spoke, and almost everyone walked out. I don't know the number of countries that actually stayed, but apparently he's
That was the New York thing?
so.
Yeah.
The
Yes. The
United
UN is held in
Nations,
New York.
the United Nations have their HQ in New York, and they have their General Assembly every year in September, and that's when all of the countries they send their foreign ministers or their presidents to New York in order to speak to the
Yeah.
UN, and the whole world's there. So obviously great diplomatic achievement from Saudi in order to rally international opinion towards, at least the recognition of Palestine as a state. But at the same time, as a symbolic gesture that doesn't really have an effect on ground, you still see Israel doing whatever the hell it wants, and the US continuing to veto any attempt at a ceasefire, which also happened recently, I think sometime in the last week.
I think something that he's found to mention is what someone was telling me was that how Netanyahu was talking about how much more ground they, all the people that are gone and like all the ground they seem like they're trying to gain. And then I saw an interview with someone that was talking about going all the way to the Euphrates, of course the Sinai, Egypt.
That is
That was the end of the what's the name of the hearing.
so. That is our
Foreign minister.
foreign minister basically speaking after the end of the convention that they convened.
So you said something interesting. What's next? And that's the same thing that I was looking at. Ever since the UN thing, I was looking at, okay, what's next? The only thing that I saw that was very interesting was how Netanyahu went to the States.
And he had to sit down with Trump. And
No, before that, how he flew there, how he avoided
France.
Spain and Italy
and France.
and France. Yes,
And France.
He just went next to Greece and then stayed on the ocean and then bounced.
So international opinion at this point has firmly
Netanyahu, I believe, I'm not positive, he's like an international war criminal. So, I mean, he's only safe here because he won't be arrested. And in those countries, there might be people who would try to arrest him on behalf of the International Criminal Court. I don't know if I'm right on that, but I'm just, look on Google Gemini. Is it possible for Netanyahu to be arrested when other countries? Is it possible for Netanyahu to be arrested when he arrives in some other countries? Following the International Criminal Court issuing arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, former defense minister, and his foreign defense minister, Yoav Gallant, it is possible for Netanyahu to be arrested if he travels to any of the more than 120 countries that are parties to the Rome Statute, the treaty that established the ICC. Under the Rome Statute, who are the member countries? The veto.
The countries reverse on Israel.
which is part of the policy that they followed for a long time.
Exactly. So now, Spain, do you need help? Okay, we can't give you the help without support for Israel. That's the direction they're gonna take. They're not gonna fold. Israel doesn't give two shits. It showed that it doesn't give a shit, and it showed that it has the U.S. in its back pocket. It showed that Netanyahu is the president of the United States of America, and he makes decisions for them.
Oh,
And
Netanyahu is
so-
our president?
Okay, cool. All
He said Netanyahu is our president. I thought it was Donald Trump. But, okay, I do get what he's saying.
so okay, cool. You just recognize it, and what? The U.S. will still find some sort of way to force all of you to backtrack. So cool story. I love this. I thought this was cute.
And the thing that bothers me, honestly, the most about this is, like, the UN was established on the basis of, whatever happened in World War I and World War II not happening again. And you go back to the UN right now and you see it happening again, and it's happening right in front of you, and it's been happening for years. And the reality is nobody can actually do anything about it as long as the US is standing there and saying, I'm going to give you that cover. Like, everybody else is,
Bro,
forced.
Trump
yeah,
talking.
forced-
Did you see
forced to
Trump's
watch.
speech at the UN?
I did. I did.
What is it?
He gave shit to the UN for.
He gave shit to everybody.
He gave shit to the UN for breaking his teleprompter, and the escalator
What?
for that doesn't work. Apparently,
Yes, Saddam.
yeah, like that's one of the things.
He went on the podium at the UN and just talked down to everybody. All of you are dumb. All of you are stupid. You're ruining your country with immigrants. Oh, you need to get your country back. He's like just pointing at countries and just riffing off the top of his head what he feels and what he thinks. And that sight alone just tells you that the UN doesn't work.
In a sense, the US is also very disconnected from the rest of the world. The fact that the world opinion has been shifting for the past couple of years, and the US doesn't really seem to care.
Yeah, because it doesn't need to care.
It never needed
Yes.
to care. But once upon a time, they had the pretense of appearance to keep up.
Yeah.
Hey, we are actually
did
trying to push these human rights. Like now, like nobody's even,
You know what's the one thing
Nobody's
that
even bothering
I
with that
still
language
can't get out of
anymore.
my head?
I mean, I don't even think they're acknowledging like the push for Western values and like capitalism and those sorts of things that it's whatever. I mean, it's
I think it was the president of Bolivia. I think
Ecuador.
it was Ecuador. That they forcefully stopped his plane over France to land because they thought that Snowden might be inside the plane.
Because at that point, Ecuador was one of the only countries that was willing to actually help Snowden. They allowed him to stay in their, they allowed Snowden to stay in their embassy in London. and then the president was flying over Europe, and they were worried that he got on the plane, and that's why they stopped the plane. International rules is a myth. Adil, it's
The
a myth.
U.S. doesn't care when it wants something, and the way that Trump walked in and just trashed the whole UN and every other single country, it's just like you'll never get anything out of them. You'll never get no security. You'll never get no protection. Everything that you want from them, it just has to feed them, and that says a
I like how this guy
lot.
right here.
As you said, okay,
Not saying
everybody spoke at the
anything.
UN, and
He has
we
not
can see
talked
that
the
down the
entire
line. How is it
time.
going to look? How it's going to feel?
These guys are
What's going to
saying all
happen?
sorts of stuff.
I think it's the same thing with the U.S. People are
guy's
looking
like,
at all
"Ah,
other countries. Are looking at the U.S. right now and say, okay, I see you.
Too much for me.
And now Venezuela is all like on red alert because they might be bombarded anytime soon. For the U.S. wanted Venezuela for so long.
Excuse me. The term is liberated.
Oh, I forgot. Yes, they need freedom.
Yes.
They need freedom.
They
They've
need
been asking
freedom.
for freedom. for
They've been
so
asking
long.
for it so hard.
Yeah, they want it so bad.
I mean,
The U.S. wanted to put their own boy in Venezuela. It didn't work. It failed. The coup failed, and so they
This
lost
was a while
Venezuela.
ago,
Oh,
yeah.
a while ago, and then they lost Venezuela, right? And ever since then, they've been trying to figure out new ways to attack Venezuela. And now they said, "Oh, by the way, y'all are drug traffickers, so we're gonna have a drug war in Latin America because we need to stop all these drugs flowing into America, and we're gonna start with Venezuela.
And listen, these guns.
Mexico is literally right under you.
These guns need to go somewhere, Adil.
Mexico's under your nose. Mm.
Again, these guns need to go somewhere. And as a state that dominates, you need to keep the war machine going one way or the other. So if I don't want to deal with what's going on in the Middle East right now, I'll just go to my neighbors. They're right next
I'll
door.
bomb the other brown people.
You know,
You see what Afghanistan did?
Oh, what these guys also don't see is that we're starting to take over American cities. The federal government's starting to going into Portland this week. I mean, they've already been in Washington D.C. Did they go to Chicago already? I think so. Where have the federal troops been?
but they're like, we want Bagram back. And they're like, hey, we built it and we left it to you guys. You guys ran away and you left because again, you don't want to deal.
I mean, there's like videos of how you guys left.
with
Yeah.
people hanging on the plane.
Exactly.
Not the first time that happens. Vietnam, again,
So he said, hey,
cut, chase, and
either
tail.
you give us back our military base
Or we're
or
gonna
we-
invade you.
or we're going to invade you. We're going to come and take it. So the Taliban was like,
Okay.
Hayak, welcome. Come here.
We've done this dance before, you
Like
know.
you ran away the last time. We're still here. And then we took the land back. And now we know more than we had before. And also, thank you for leaving all those weapons for us. We appreciate y'all.
Thanks
all
to you,
the-
we have a base now.
Base and weapons and trucks. Like we have full logistics system thanks to
A
you.
little bit of freedom. They also have a sprinkle of freedom. You know, a sprinkle of freedom.
Oh,
We sprinkle freedom all over the place. That's pretty good. God, my forehead is so shiny. Like I just waxed it.
They had boots on the ground by November.
They were. In
they started with
2000.
Iraq first.
Nope.
No, Iraq was.
Oh, you're right, my bad. Iraq came after that.
So
They left in
Yes, yes.
2017. 2017.
So federal troops have been deployed to Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Memphis, and Chicago.
Talking about.
I
It-
faintly remember that.
It was. I think I want to say it was definitely almost 15 years. or something.
2021.
Yes,
Yeah, I told you.
10 years.
We were recording the podcast when it
20
happened.
years actually.
20 years.
Yeah.
Nice math.
Nice. Quick maths.
So
And that's a war that they definitively lost. It's like they got their ass kicked and they
it's
went
called
home.
a strategic retreat. Number one.
Oh, just like Vietnam.
Also, another strategic retreat. The key word here is strategic.
These guys are cool.
Because it means, you know why? I didn't.
These guys are cool. Check out. Talking about the Riyadh Comedy Festival. Past the Kapsa. Check out these guys past the Kapsa. Kabsa. Through some of their comments, these comedians are kind of brainwashed into thinking that the Saudis don't get cultural references. Most of them are testing the waters to see what they can say. I personally hated that therapy comment because they actually think we used to live in tents 5 years ago. As Saudis, we have to have a strong media presence to show the world that Saudi isn't backward at all because Western media keeps lying about us. And then every American comedian attending is a POS. Piece of shit. Never forget 9/11 and who's sponsored. Whoa. Okay. All right. DMK 42,000. That was pretty intense. All right, everybody. I'm going to end this stream. I'm Kyle Clinton. Going to Axelrad tonight. Perform some stand-up comedy. We will do this again later. Again, I'm Kyle Clinton. Thank you.